What's up, good people? What's up? You are tuned into Street Legal Radio Style and Substance, brought to you only on Street Legal Radio Live. I am your host, Lee Mr. Always, and as always,
Always.
I got one, two, three, four of the best co-hosts
Yes,
in the
indeed.
whole entire world.
Appreciate that.
Shout
I
out
like
to
that.
Shari, who's still in the building.
Yeah.
Yes,
Holding
you
us
know,
down.
Shari, you back there?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey.
See, we still representing as a team.
Yes, we are.
I just want to first say thank you to Mr. Marquet for,
Yes, indeed.
you know, over at Street Legal Entertainment for allowing us to do this.
Mhm.
Our sponsor, Miss Shelly Sugars. It's Mother's Day, so, you know, it's a great idea to
Yes,
look
it is.
into some Shelly Sugars. You can find them on IG and Facebook.
Yes, indeed.
It's not just cake, it's Shelly Sugars.
It's Shelly
I had to
Sugars.
remember the slogan
Yeah,
real quick.
you gotta
It's
remember
not
that.
just cake, it's Shelly Sugars.
No.
All right, I'm getting better. Anyway,
He brings us.
we got some of the hottest, flyest people in the building with us tonight.
Thank you.
Yes.
What is your name?
My name is DH.
Oh, okay, you're DH. All right.
The hit writer.
Hey, Dion. Feeling good, feeling great.
That's what's
Happy
up.
Wednesday, beautiful people.
Yes, yes, yes. We got my girl Key. What's happening, Key?
You know I'm in here. Welcome back.
My
Welcome
man,
back.
oh, Professor X. What's
Yes,
up?
indeed. What's up, people?
That's
what's up.
What's going on?
In the segment of the night is
Yeah.
going to be later on Candy's Crazy Reality.
Miss
That's
Vibration.
the title, but it's the
Right.
build, the
That's the
build up
segment.
after the breakdown.
That's what's up. Okay, Miss Vibration.
Miss
All
Vibration.
right, there we go.
Let's set these things out right.
She's like, look here, get it right.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
Yeah.
crazy.
You know, she gave it to me. You
Stand
know
for
what I
the
mean?
twirl.
And special guest host in
Yes,
the
indeed.
building with us tonight. My man, 100 grand.
Yes, indeed.
Street Legal fam.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm rapping over here. You know what I mean? My freestyle on.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? Hey, prayers of an angry husband, Arthur.
Yes.
Co-host on one of the best shows around. I know, you know that they're Street Legal Radio fans.
Yeah.
Of course.
After church with my man, Minister Greg Bond.
Yeah.
We got Chris Massey in the building. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for the. No, that's a welcome right
Yeah,
there.
man.
That's what we
Yeah.
Hey, you bring
I
them in.
appreciate that. What's going on, everybody?
What's happening, brother? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm good, man.
Glad to see you,
We are
man.
happy
With
to
the
have
family.
you.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm happy to
indeed.
be back with the
Oh my
the
goodness.
family, man.
That's
Yeah,
what's up,
appreciate
man.
you.
Yeah, appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hey, so
Anticipating this
right.
shit.
Yeah.
Right, definitely,
That's all-
definitely.
Real talk, man.
Yeah.
Real talk. Been looking forward to
Get back
this.
up with y'all. Man.
so we're gonna go right in, man.
Going in,
You know, I'm gonna say prayers of an angry husband.
Right.
Mm.
My first question to you
Yeah.
is, where were you when you began to write this
Man.
book? Because I'm hearing
I ain't gotta
pain.
start deep in there.
Yes, you know we get
go
right
on,
to
bro.
it.
Right.
I'm hearing pain, bro.
Yeah. So, man, when I wrote this book, and kind of when God just brought this book to me,
Mm-hmm.
man, it was like I was going through my separation and I was going through my divorce,
Mm.
and just going through that process. I wouldn't wish it on anybody,
Mhm.
but if you've been through it, you read the book, you would understand, man. It was just like I was coming home every day, just going in my room, just
Mhm.
staying in complete darkness all day, man. It was just
Wow.
it was just bad. So when I finally let go and let God
Yeah.
take control,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because I was trying to fight. You know, every
Mhm.
man ain't gonna fight for that marriage. So I was
Mhm.
trying
Right.
and trying, and God was like, "I want you to write this book about times when you were angry at your wife in prayer. You know, when you would pray to God angry, like, but you did it wrong. So I want you to encourage men and women
Wow.
that in that moment, as men, we're still supposed to cover our wives. and
Wow.
pray
Wow.
in the correct way. So that's kind of where the book theme came from. God gave it to me about 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it's finally out, man. So
Yes,
Yes,
man.
man.
That's
Oh
heavy,
my
bro.
goodness.
That's heavy. You know what's funny? Yeah, we gotta give a clap on that one. I tell you, man, I've been just looking forward to having this conversation because I was curious to know where the title came from.
yeah,
You know, because you, similar to myself, always have a smile,
yeah,
right?
Gotcha.
So when I looked at the title, I was like, is this Chris, or is it your story, or is it another story?
no, it's,
You know,
it's-
since it's your story.
So I'm gonna tell you about that because I'm gonna tell you how God works, right? So when God gave this to me, I tried to reach out to other people because I had to collab. I was like, you know what? Let me collaborate with other people
Yeah.
and try to put this, you know, because I know everybody else got a situation
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
mad at the person you with, and you only got to be married. You
Yeah,
can
true
be
indeed.
engaged or dating.
No, I'm over here, and then it's like making my
Yeah,
my
it's like,
spirit
yo, like,
go
they-
crazy.
Wow.
you know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
like I'm meditating.
Wow.
So I couldn't release it because in my prayer time
You
with
better tell
God,
me
He
that.
was just like, I didn't give that to you for them. I gave it to you.
Mm.
So it was just like God had to check me. That's why it took 2 years.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
when God say move, you gotta move.
Yes,
So
indeed.
that's kind of where the whole title came. He just dropped it in my spirit.
That's
man.
what's
It was
up,
just
man.
like when you were mad and you were praying wrong, I want you to encourage people how to pray right. So that's where it
You
came from.
Go ahead, DH, because you about to beat me to it. I know you going.
I just wanted to know, you keep mentioning, you know, you were praying wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Now you praying right.
Right.
Can you break that down for us?
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, I was
So-
about that. Yeah.
I was praying in my emotion, right? So like, you know, I would say for like as a man, it was just like, God, you need to fix her. Because like she wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And God had to check me like,
Like,
no, pray for yourself and
Yeah.
the stuff that you do. Don't pray, you know, but that's kind of what wrong is. So like, just like, you know, they make you mad. So the person you would make you mad. So you're talking to God in anger.
Right.
But that's not really covering the person. Like, God, I don't know what's going on, but cover both of us.
Right.
You know
Pray
what I'm
for-
saying?
right,
Pray, right.
right.
That's how you pray.
Right.
That's
Pray
what
for
some
you.
of the prayers are in here that God kind of led me to pray. And this is the correct way. And it doesn't matter the situation. There's some situations you like,
How can I pray for you?
Say, I'm with you right now. I don't even want-
I don't want to pray for you.
Right,
It's
right.
like, yeah, so it's just like
That's
some
real,
of those
DH.
moments. Yeah, exactly. Because you do, you know, I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
I did pray against,
Yeah.
and I was wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I won't act fake for anybody. Like I know I was wrong.
Yeah,
in those
yeah.
situations,
Right.
but God was like, you know, let me check you. So
Yeah.
that's kind of.
And that's the beauty of it, man. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of it, to
Yeah.
allow yourself to be checked. You know, because
Hey, you want to get it right.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you want to figure it out.
Right.
So a lot of times we won't humble ourselves to accept the critique from the man above. You know, we'll be like, man, I ain't trying to hear all that. So
Right.
that's, I commend you for that, man.
it's real
Especially
though.
in the moment.
Especially in the
Yeah,
moment.
Like God,
Yeah.
like let's go fix this right now. Fix
Right,
them.
right.
You know
Fix
what
them.
I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know, it's
We rushing.
funny. It's
Yeah, we
funny
do.
to me. I seen you going through this process.
Right.
You know what I
You were
mean?
there, yeah.
And it's funny that this is what came out of that process
Right.
because I could tell you was going through something.
Right.
You know what I mean? I knew, you know, kind of what it was about because I've been through similar.
Right.
And that's powerful. That, you know, you actually in the midst of praying where, you know, you know, it hits you like, hey, this, you know, I still gotta pray for this person. I still gotta, you know, and a lot, you know, it's a lot that can be learned from that. You know what I mean? Is because we, you know, that honesty factor.
Yeah.
Even in our prayers.
Right.
Like that, like
Keeping it
that,
real, yeah,
like
yeah.
the honesty
Yeah.
factor, even in our prayers.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's powerful, bruh.
Yeah.
I don't,
It is, man.
I can't wait. My copy is on the way.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
And I got
I'm
the team. I
definitely-
told y'all, like,
Right.
I'm waiting for the orders to come through. They still coming, so I
Appreciate you,
make sure I
man.
take care of the
Yeah,
team.
we definitely will read it and
Wow, man.
we will
And-
speak on it.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
crazy because I'll pray in my prayers, you know, I'll pray for my enemies.
Yeah, you're supposed
You know what I
to.
mean? But as I'm praying for my enemies, certain people like exes and stuff comes into play.
Yeah.
But
And
I
that's
never
cool.
pray.
It's
Right,
pause for a
right.
minute,
But it's like, you know, hey, you're in my enemy somewhere. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, and it's a
Yeah,
lot
man,
that
it's
I've
real.
done in these situations also.
indeed.
So
Yeah.
just like you just said, and I, you know, I do work on that, but praying for my change, you know, I need to be praying for my change of mindset.
Yeah, mindset.
And how I'm my outlook on this because I could be bringing in some negative energy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Wow.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like once you changed your way of praying, you were delivered from your entire situation. Would you say that? Or would you say that you needed prayer on top of some other things to help you get through this process?
It was kind of both. So it was prayer, but it was also letting go.
Oh,
So
okay.
as I was going through my separation, in my mind, and kind of what you're taught in church is you fight for your marriage.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing. But when I was spending time with God, He was like, I want you to let it go. And it's just kind of just one of those things where, you know, we all know like God has to be God in all the areas of your life.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, God, you told me to, you you love marriage, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight. And it got to the point where I was fighting by myself. So I heard it clearly, and this is huge, just to hear the voice of God when you have a relationship with Him. God told me, He said, since you want to continue to try to fight for this marriage, you're not listening to me, I'm stepping away. So when He stepped away and took His hand off of me, things just got worse. I mean, it just got worse. So it was kind of both of them. Just I had to let go of the situation and just trust God that regardless of the situation, He was going to take care of it. And as I let go, He revealed like the purpose for my organization. He revealed, He started to heal me in just the weirdest ways that God just heals people. It was just awesome. Like
I want to shout.
it was just
Yeah, right.
awesome. So I just want to share this real quick.
Go
So
ahead.
I went and spoke at an event in Atlanta, and you know I was just talking about I had to learn what true love was as I was going through it. And love is just vulnerability. So just allowing people to be there for me. Not necessarily telling my business, just but when I'm going through, don't try to go through by yourself.
Yes.
So in that dark time, you know, I'm one of those people that I don't cry instantly. So if somebody passes away, something sad happens, it takes a long time to just build up. I guess I've held stuff in for so long, it's just that won't change. So there's certain things that make me cry, see, like love and sacrifice. So God just was like, I want you to watch certain movies that I know that's gonna make you cry. I'm like, okay, let me go on this weird journey, God. 'Cause
What was one of the movies?
I'm gonna
curious.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
okay.
No shame. I'm gonna tell you.
Alright.
So the first movie I watched was what's the name of that movie? Of course I'll forget. I'll give one of the movies I watched was Beyond the Lights.
Oh, yeah,
So
I love that
I watched
movie.
Beyond the Lights.
I love that
So
movie.
I watched that, and it was the fact that like when she was ready to jump off that bridge, he was
wouldn't
there
let us
for her.
in.
So I watched that.
Wow,
So
he was
I'm like,
definitely taking you through a journey.
yeah, he was. Oh, he's taking me through a journey because I'm about to hit you with some
Yeah,
other
go ahead,
movies.
keep
You
going.
might judge me. on. So-
No, man. I probably watched
So,
it. Don't worry, brother.
so then he took me. So then and I'm like, and these are movies he told me to watch. So then I watched a movie called Walk to Remember.
Oh, yeah.
Man, and it was like the girl that he was bullying, he wound up falling in love with, and like he did all the stuff, finding out she was going to die. And it was like, that was a sacrifice. And then the last movie, so it was some other movies that didn't move me in the way, but the last movie he told me to watch was 13 Going on 30.
Oh,
And I was like,
I love that movie.
but it was like, and it was certain parts in the movie where it was just like, you know, when she couldn't remember anything, but she needed her best friend to help her, and it was just like one part of the movie where it was kind of like back to their old ways when she said goodbye. So she would say, arrivederci, and he would say au revoir. And I was just like, I don't know why that's making me cry. That's so simple and normal.
Yeah.
It's just like, so God had to allow me to release all of the stuff that I was holding in that darkness. So that's kind of also where the book came from. Just building myself back up to walk this path of mental health. You know, my organization and writing the book.
Wow.
Very nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
gotta get
Yeah,
Yeah,
That is
man.
awesome.
Yes,
When you
indeed.
speak of your organization, what kind of organization is it? Let's talk about that.
Sure. So I started a mental health organization called I Am Strength. It's an advocacy organization. So just bringing more awareness, not just to the Black community, just overall. My focus really is on depression and anxiety. But you know, mental health is vast. It's just getting the information out there, trying to help people. Once I become nonprofit certified, one of the things we're going to do is also help pay for people that can't afford services to get help because it can be expensive.
Yes.
It can be expensive, but
Definitely.
you know, we look at mental health like it's just kind of nothing. And it's
Yeah, like it doesn't matter.
Right.
Right, and it really matters.
It really matters.
It does. Like when you look at the numbers, you know, 1 million people a year committing suicide.
Yeah, man.
That's ridiculous.
It's crazy. I was just sharing because I also mentor the teenagers in my church. I was telling them yesterday, you know, the number 2 cause of death between the ages of 10 and 14 is suicide. That's
Wow.
a problem.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
an
Big
issue.
problem.
14.
Yeah.
One in your life at such a young age.
Yeah.
Man.
And you just felt hopeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
And where's your support?
You know, I tell you something funny about it, and I gotta go with my chill, y'all. I remember that time in my life You know, be real with y'all,
Right.
just to share that. You know, like I always say, from the age of 8 to about 18, I was in some type of counseling or therapy and seeing some type of psychologist or psychiatrist actually, and a lot of it came from the fact that people would dismiss.
The fact of you not feeling regular.
Right.
I just use the word regular.
Right.
As though like you just woke up on the wrong side of the bed or
or something just wasn't right, some imbalance within yourself of
Right.
what you could fix. But until people start really paying attention to those around them and saying, you know what, I care more than just saying that I care, you come to find out it's a lot of layers to it that come from situations that that child or that individual didn't have anything to do with. So, and then exactly, that they can't control. So I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people don't know, man. Young kids are committing suicide by alarming rates
Yeah.
in this day and time more than ever,
Absolutely.
because they have so much to kind of attempt to at one time. There you go, to deal with at one time.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So I appreciate
And
you.
you can't
mentioning that.
overlook it. Like I heard somebody say one day, you know, these kids shouldn't have the issues that they have. The reality is they do.
They do.
Yeah.
That is what it is,
They
man.
facing more. I mean, you know, this digital age. I mean, they're exposed to
Right.
so
Yeah.
much stuff
So
that
much.
I was. You know, yeah. I remember. I mean, I'm only 34, but I remember when TV went off at 12 o'clock.
We
were just
talking about that,
So,
right?
like,
We
I
just talking
remember
about
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
the
now
Snow Channel.
everything is all day. They got all types of different applications.
Yeah,
like
man.
these kids are just going through so much. So when you hear something like that, like 10 or 14, like, man,
It's sad. It's really sad.
That
It is
that's
sad.
sad.
It is.
You
sad.
you
Wow,
even
bro.
take like radio, you know what I mean? Like
everything,
there's
right?
stuff that I hear on the radio now that when I was coming up we would never hear.
No.
Like, and I'm like, and I have to be mindful about that when it's playing because of my
You got in the car with you.
yeah,
Yeah,
my,
man.
my kids. It's like, wow, man. But you know something, to have those conversations with your children, you know, about these issues and topics because they're gonna be exposed to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're gonna be exposed to it, and we was talking about it last
Yeah,
show
we were.
about when is it proper
When is it?
to
Yeah.
talk to your
About
kid
certain
about
things.
certain things,
Right.
and that's like everybody. I think their numbers are going lower now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, right?
You know what this is, right?
Conversation.
Because you know what's crazy that you say that?
That's funny.
It's wow. It is. They get to stuff quicker than we can actually get to it to explain it to them.
Yeah.
So sometimes they bring it to us like, hey, what is this? And you like,
I wasn't ready for that.
wasn't ready for that one, right?
Right.
So you do have to
Gotta
be
be ready.
very prepared and very
Yeah.
informed yourself. Like you
Yeah.
cannot play it dumb anymore and try to brush over something and say, you know what, oh, we'll talk about that in 5 years.
Right.
They're gonna be like, well, check this out. I'm about to Google and find out what this is.
Right.
So we have to have those conversations. So you know what you're talking about, man, with your organization is powerful.
Yes, it is.
It really is, man. We
I
commend
can't
you,
wait to
brother.
see that. You know, see what God does with that.
Yeah.
'Cause I know it's going to be big things.
Yeah.
Question: where can they find your book?
Sure. So you can get on Amazon right now. I have it on Kindle and paperback. Just get it on Amazon. I'm working with Barnes and Noble, trying to get it on there.
That's a couple of
Yes,
this. You
indeed.
can put it up
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
want.
go ahead, do
You
your
know,
thing.
I don't know
And
where
then,
my camera.
And then I'm also trying to get it on Sprinkle of Jesus. I have to work with them.
You know what is that?
Very nice.
What is Sprinkle of Jesus?
It's an application
Okay.
that has all types of stuff in it.
Wow.
All the sermons and inspirational quotes of the day,
That's
things like
amazing.
that. So
That's great,
yeah,
man.
but you can order off of Amazon.
That's great.
Everybody want to see this.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I do real quick, Key. I want to when I get a chance, I do want to read one prayer so I can tell you.
Okay,
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Now, I just was gonna ask if you don't mind me asking. Do you have any children of your own?
I don't. I had in the marriage I had 2 stepsons.
Okay.
Yeah, but kind of what we were just talking about. I've had conversations with them just to make sure they're okay, just to
That's great, man.
let them know, you know, and like I would tell my sons every day, like I love you every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And they would tell me back, like that's also missing in the community. Like one of the alarming numbers that I wanted to share is that men are more likely to commit suicide than women, 4 times more.
Yeah.
I read
Four
about that.
times more, and that tells you because as men, you know, we're taught to hold everything in. Don't
Yeah.
you cry, don't you, you know, and you don't, you know. But I think a couple years ago, I can't remember the year. It might have been 3 or 4 years ago. It was one of the first times my dad just like we were driving somewhere, and he was just, I just want you to know I love you. It's like one of the first times.
Wow.
You like,
Man,
ooh.
I cried. It's like, man, when you know, that's why I tell anybody, tell your kids that you love them, man.
Yeah.
That's heavy,
Everything,
man.
even if they don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But it's
That-
going to impact
yeah,
them.
it will.
And
Yes.
so I made sure
Yeah,
I
it
told them
does.
every day because not hearing it, and
It
you know,
does.
you need people might say they don't. You need validation from your mother and your father.
Yes, you did. I would say they're
At
You're
least
Superman
them.
and Superwoman, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wow. You said just in the past 3 to 4 years, the first time you heard him
first time.
say that.
And like that I can remember.
That you can remember.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And as matter of fact, and as a grown up, because I don't care what nobody say, you still wanna hear it, or
Yeah.
at least want to be able to feel like the love is still there. So
Right.
sometimes that confirmation.
yeah, but he sends text messages to all.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
4 of us. He'll send a message like,
Just let you know.
proud of y'all, love y'all.
Yeah,
proud
that's
of
what's
y'all.
up, man. Salute to
So,
your pops, man.
And
Yeah.
Yes,
that
indeed.
relationship that you have with your father is very, I would say it's very important, especially
Oh,
when
yeah.
you're going through processes or processes,
Right.
such as this one. You know what I mean? Just having someone, knowing that you still have someone outside of that relationship that still love you, still care about you, regardless of your faults, is very
Still
important.
got your back.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
Support is
That
everything.
unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
like that.
It's priceless.
Yeah.
It's priceless.
Yeah, but you know, I'm just.
Go in.
No, go ahead. Because you know what?
I'm
No,
taking it.
Ken, but Ken, you know what? And I say this about Sister Ken. You can
Sister
tell
Ken,
just.
sister
There
Ken.
you go. It rolled over to her, right? But no, the thing is this. We were kind of over here like saying a little bit, but it's so moving, man. You know what I mean? Just everything about what you have brought forth today to share with us. You know, the transparency is very moving. That's what we were kind of over here bouncing off a little bit. Like it just is it's overwhelming in a great way.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, not it's like the cup runneth over type of thing.
Mhm.
You know, it shows that God is always in control. He's always at the forefront of everything, and all we have to do is let go, let Him. So that's what I received.
What
from
you,
today.
what you
Yeah.
got,
Yeah,
Candace?
what you got,
So yeah, so what I was saying, what I was going to say, but I like it because like as you were talking, I was over here getting like chills
Yeah.
and just getting all this energy
Mhm.
coming into me
Mhm.
because that's exactly what inspired my whole path. Is a crisis. It is something that's a tragedy, and a lot of people don't think that a heartbreak is real.
Oh,
It-
Yeah.
it's real,
you
real.
know, and it can eat you up, it can
Mhm.
spit you out, and chew you alive.
Sure will.
And so with that, out of my pain is what came Candy's crazy reality, the
Right.
build up
Yeah.
after the breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So that's why I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, because I feel like everybody enters your experience for a reason, because I do believe in my laws of attraction and you know all of those things. So I'm sitting here and you are just inspiring me to keep on going with my story and my
Keep on
truth,
pressing.
because that's what I want to do. I want to make people aware
Right.
of what's going on. And I know a lot of times, like entrepreneurs and business owners, they'll tell you they did this to become successful, and all you see is the success. I want to tell people what went on when it wasn't successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't need to know how you got to $1 million. I need to know what went on before you got to the $1 million.
Right.
How you got it?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it is a
Yeah.
process, and
Oh,
you,
it's-
you go through ups and downs, and that's why I always say, if somebody try to take away, you can't take away my Christ, because it was in my crisis that I found my
That's right.
Christ.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why, you know.
Listen, I call you sister tonight for a reason.
Yeah. So that's why when you were sitting there, I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true, because sometimes, like when I told you when I first came on, that sometimes it takes something drastic for you to be tired
Yeah.
and ignite a flame,
Right.
and praying angry and praying wrong, because I prayed several times for my significant other's downfall, and it, let's keep it real, you know. It's
God
like-
strike 'em
it's
down.
like,
Wow.
and I will always
you.
say, I know it's not right, but he need to do this.
Right,
you need
right,
to,
right.
you know, it's and we rush it. And
Yeah.
when you're in the
Yeah.
midst of a storm, you
You did
can't
say
see
that.
through the
Yeah.
trees.
Can't-
So it's like
Oh,
you
trees.
you aren't even able to recognize that there are small, subtle changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
you can't even disconnect yourself long enough to see that.
Right.
And it's like a boiling pot. You can't look at a boiling pot because it seems like it takes forever. But the minute you take your eyes off of it, you're like, I done burnt these hot dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm saying.
That's real though. That's real though.
So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, that is.
I also have an accountability partner.
Yes.
You know, and I'm
Definitely.
going to talk about that in my little segment too. But I have an accountability partner, and it's somebody that she does not hold any cut cards. She
Oh,
holds
You
me
need
responsible for everything.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the fact that I'm developing more spiritually and getting more in tune with things, she really hold me to the mud.
Oh, yeah.
that's
So I
good.
think I think it's wonderful. Like I said, you inspire me to keep on going, even though you said it's been about 2 years. You know, it's fine. You know, your process and what goes on, it's great.
Yes, indeed.
But I definitely can relate to everything you say. You have to change. For me, it's like I had to change my thinking.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to change your thinking, and like you said, God spoke to me too.
Yeah.
So when you do get in tune, and it's like people don't speak on it often because people might think you're crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially if you're doing something they're not doing, it's like
Yeah.
shit crazy.
Wrong.
She hearing stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, and I heard him.
Yeah.
I heard him as well.
Yeah.
And what he said to me was, I do love you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
like, that's why I say, I was taught too that he answers us in 3 ways when we're in situations. Once is yes, no, and if you insist. And sometimes what you insist is you sitting here going through hell
Mhm.
in the middle of this storm
Right.
because I tried to tear you away from what I didn't want you to have
Yeah.
a long time ago, whether
Right.
Felt
it's
like you
work
just had it.
or
Yes.
things like that. But
Yes.
see, you insisted on having it, so now I'm gonna give it
I
to
like
you.
that.
You gotta deal
That's
with
what's
it.
up.
Yeah.
I
That's real.
appreciate that, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
that's very, very real. And I'm glad you let it out because she was like blah.
Right.
Like, y'all, hey,
Right.
this is
Right.
but you're passionate in
You
that.
said
That's
Candace
real.
Lavery.
This is what this is supposed
Yes,
to do.
indeed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't ever, it's like that right there. Like, even with people that listen to our show,
Mm-hmm.
we're supposed to invoke some type of discussion, some
Yeah.
healthy discussion
Yes,
with
indeed.
this show. So, when people put up their comments, being negative, positive, whatever,
I love 'em
that's
all.
why, yes, I love them
Yeah.
all, right?
Yeah, you know
It's
I-
like, no,
yeah.
hey,
Keep it coming.
yes, right, keep it coming. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you're doing
You
exactly
paying
what we
attention. I
need
was
you
just
to
thinking
do.
that, brother.
Yes, is
Yeah.
engaging, and that's what it's supposed to be, man.
Yeah. That's a
Healthy.
true conversation,
Yeah,
actually.
definitely.
Yeah, that you
That-
don't
that's-
always
that's the-
agree.
Agree,
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean?
exactly. But
Yes, indeed.
we can see things are very similar sometimes too. We'll
Yeah,
find a lot of
for sure.
likeness in our struggles
indeed.
and our,
Yes, indeed.
testimonies. Question for you.
Yes, sir.
Angry.
Yes.
The word prayers of an angry husband. Man, we
Mhm.
got a couple husbands in here, right? A couple husbands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just because I'm sure
Go ahead.
the listeners will want to hear it from us.
Mm-hmm.
The anger.
Mhm.
Where does it come from?
You
I'll
wanna go?
start.
I have no
you
problem
want
with
to start?
Yeah, I mean,
I-
I'll definitely start. I mean, the funny thing about the word anger is of how much that really you have on the inside of you that you've yet to deal with. And
You done right there.
I mean, look, pretty much, right? That is right there. But I'll tell you, it's been eating at me to share this tonight, based upon this. During those years and during those times of being angry because things weren't going my way, one thing God always continuously told me to do was, in my spirit, and I would say just like this, Lord, keep my wife and I heart soft toward one another.
Exactly.
And the crazy thing about it is, out of that, to God be the glory, honestly, is that He was doing with me within needing to become softer. So that when you start talking about them chick flicks and all them type of movies, man, I'm with you, brother. I done sat up many a nights one morning crying, like, what the heck is wrong with me?
Right.
Watching whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's little subtle parts in movies that, what you say?
The
Lion King.
But it's stuff that you really, it's like he would lock in, and you got to give him props on it. He would lock in a little excerpt of something
Yeah.
that you would almost like, that? But it
It
just
don't make
started,
sense to
it
you.
made no, but then
But
it
it
started
makes
making
sense to
sense.
him.
And you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Once you started releasing and allowing it to just break,
Uh-huh.
it started making all the sense in the world. So,
Right.
so that's me. It would be
Yeah.
recognizing and accepting the fact of where the anger lies within yourself. That's
Yeah.
what I noticed. Yeah.
Definitely. And I'll say before we go back
Yeah.
to you, Chris, and you give your explanation. For me, that anger came from me, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
It was a me thing that
Mhm.
I wasn't willing to accept. Now, also, when I wanted change, I was trying to force change the wrong way.
Yeah.
So if I'm coming at you with aggression or
Mhm.
anger or whatever, that's all I'm gonna get back.
Yeah.
It wasn't in a loving way to affect this change. Like, why the hell are you doing that?
Yeah.
Like, what's this about? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, nah, like, come on. Just that frustration
Yeah.
that was given. And it's a learning process. And like we talk about with a lot of men, we talked about this on our men's fatherless children rap,
Yeah.
is that a lot of us wasn't shown the correct way
Hands
to
down.
be in a healthy conversation
Mhm.
with someone of the opposite sex.
Mhm.
The way I talk to my homeboys is definitely not the way I want to talk to my woman.
Right.
Right.
I know that from having daughters. It's
Yeah,
like I
teach you.
can't talk to my daughters
That'll
the
teach
same
you.
way I talk to my son.
Nope.
And in all actuality, having daughters and having this relationship with someone of the other sex, the opposite sex, has taught me how to correctly talk to people in general.
Period. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
in my community it was so aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I just wanted to give ladies
That's
a little
real.
understanding of
Yes.
some of the anger issues,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
wanted change, but we all know how change come about
Yeah.
through self.
Yeah.
Right, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not changing anybody at this table.
No, you're not.
Right.
But if we
It's
change
real.
something with,
Of
that
ourselves.
I'm in control
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
it's gonna change the whole situation.
Yeah.
So I mean, just wanted to get a little insight on that, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we.
I mean, y'all done took
Right, I was gonna say my bad.
So what you said, kind of what O said, and what you said is just about being humble, one, and
Mm-hmm.
communication style.
Yeah.
Because if
Figuring that out.
I'll even go a little further. Also, it could be generational.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
That was
saying?
all in my head as I was talking.
Yeah.
Funny you should say that.
I kind of like so when I was younger, my parents' communication style was, or at least, my father, he was yelling.
Mhm.
So that's all I knew.
Right.
So when I got into a marriage, I
I'm a
would
yeller.
yell.
Mhm.
You know
You
what
yell.
I'm saying?
I'm a yeller.
I never put my hands on my wife because I don't
Yeah.
believe in that, but just aggressive yelling. So
Yeah.
it's just like you're building up that anger, and that's also another. And just kind of just being a man. I mean, they tell you like just hold it in. Well, if you hold all this stuff in, it has to come out at some
Yeah,
point.
some way, yeah.
Explosion.
Pressure both pipes.
Right. So it's just like that's where that anger
Yeah.
comes from. And like on the men's side, we just have to learn how to deal with it better. And like Lou said, you have to change yourself. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff is just changing yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of where a
Yes,
lot of it
indeed.
comes
Yeah.
from.
Yes, sister.
I'm so happy that you all were able to be transparent in this situation.
Yeah.
Because I'll say, me as a young woman, we don't hear men be as vulnerable, have these conversations. You know what I mean? Because like you say, a lot of the times men, they have the same conversation that they having with a woman, they have it with their homeboys,
Mhm.
and they don't know how to differentiate
Separate the
the
two.
language or
Yeah.
separate the two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to hear, grown men, married men at some point in time say, hey, listen, this is how I've handled my situation. I've had to change myself. It kind of is refreshing to me as a young woman because, okay, there are men out here that's trying to work on
Real
themselves
talk.
instead of, because from what we know and what we've heard,
Yeah.
instead of a man trying to actually work on himself,
he dip out.
he dip
Yeah.
out. He
Yeah.
kind of just
Yeah.
goes.
Or he just
does
telling
his
you
own
everything
thing.
that's wrong with you.
Yeah, you like, wait a minute. Ain't not just me.
You ain't come on. Not
Yeah.
me.
Right. Like, what that has to do with me?
I'll tell you
know?
something. I'll tell you something funny that you say that. When because I'm a talker, as y'all know.
No, do you?
So in no time, no, I'm just saying,
Oh,
me, I
period.
talk, right? So in times of having conversations with my wife and I'm trying to make a point, she'll go to sleep on me. You know what I mean? And I used to irritate the heck out of me.
I can
But then it
imagine.
made me have to sit back and say, how much of you are you listening to?
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it would be like I was listening.
I don't believe that at all, yo. I don't believe that at all.
It would have me sit, because I'm telling you, I would sit a many a nights and I'd be like, and that's where that prayer of, Lord, just keep both of our hearts soft toward you.
Right.
Because I would be like, you know what I mean? She ain't listening to me no way. But no, you know what I mean? It would take a minute. You gotta think. It's a challenging process because it goes back to how much of you do you want to be? How much of you do you want to allow the Lord to fix, or how much of you do you think that you're in control of fixing?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, my wife done went to sleep on me plenty of
No,
nights.
all right, you
too.
hear me?
Or just tone
Turn
me
you out, or turn you straight out, right?
Yo, I'm like,
I'll be like
you
this
hear
one,
me?
yeah, right there, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why you not answering? Because
Yeah.
I was just letting you talk.
Yeah. Oh my
Like,
God.
are you finished?
Are you done?
Oh! Woo!
It's like this,
Are you done?
Take
Oh my
it.
God.
Are you finished or you done?
Oh, you finished or you done? Right.
Yeah,
So,
man.
I had to start realizing, I'd be like, all right, I ain't gonna hold you but for a second.
That's what I said. I'm like,
Right,
I'm like, look,
yeah,
give me
yeah,
1
yeah.
minute real quick.
Let me just-
But you know, it humble, and that's why when you say it humbles you,
It does.
it puts you in a position to say to yourself, you know what? And Key, it's funny that you bring it up as men, as you hear us men, as husbands and having been husbands, realizing that it's so much of us that as the head of our homes that we have to figure out the work starts with us.
Right.
Change begins with us, and then it trickles. I mean, like it or not, that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
It trickles its way on down. You know, so if there's chaos,
Better pay attention to what's going on at the top.
Yeah.
You know,
Period.
so it shows
Yeah,
the real
because you heal from the
you
inside
hear from
out.
the inside
Yeah.
out.
You know, that's why it's good to meditate.
Yeah.
You know, some people do, some people don't.
Mhm.
It's good because it's going to heal you from the inside
Sure
out,
will.
and you're gonna have to face those things that you have problems with.
Like it or
And then
not.
sometimes
Yeah.
you change people, everybody, like I said, they either grow with you or grow out your experience.
Hello.
Yes.
I like that, King.
Hello.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna tell you something that you said, Key, in reference to it being men out here that are trying to work on themselves and stuff like that. One part of that I'm gonna say for the ladies is that's important for y'all to work on yourself
I'll say
too,
that next.
because with that, the reason why you find so many young men not working on themselves is because of what y'all accept. So
I had to
it,
say
I was
that.
hoping you went there,
that
bro.
goes
Yeah.
sick, like we always say, sick people attract sick
Sick
people.
people, hello.
So when if it's something that a young lady aspires to, have a man, or a man aspires to have a woman that is of some substance, that has some quality, then you have to be of some substance and
Quality.
quality.
Hands down.
Period.
You know what I mean? Like, don't I really, I always hear, women, it still is some men out here. Well, it's not that many women out here either.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not coming at you,
No,
but
real
like,
talk.
I totally agree with
at
you.
that
I
statement,
agree.
it's not that many women either, because self-care, like we said, especially in our community, is not something that's taken seriously.
It's not.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Hey, y'all, you can lie to yourself if you want to,
Yeah.
and act like this ain't real.
It is.
It
It
is.
is.
And that's the truth.
Right.
Like,
The results gonna
you
be
go,
real.
you wanna go from being the passenger or the back seat to the front seat, and then
Quick.
you're trying to figure out why he or she's not treating you as such.
Mhm.
It's like, hold on, you didn't settle for what I was giving you for
Right.
5-6 years.
Right.
Now
Now
you
you
want to
want
do
stuff.
Yeah.
Now you want me to do this?
Right.
That's why you can't do wife things for somebody who ain't
No.
there.
What's the old saying? Don't get the cow when you get the milk for free.
Exactly.
Pretty much, right?
Exactly.
I love
Bring a little old school in
but,
it.
No, that was definitely going to be my next point, because I feel like a lot of the times us as women, because I hear a lot of our women, we speak. We kind of do the finger pointing thing, and but we don't. You know how they say, well, like we said last time.
We talking about
We
three.
don't- that's three that's pointing back. Like we like, oh hell no, they ain't pointing at me. Excuse my language. We like, they ain't pointing at me,
Right.
but not really looking at the reality of it. You know what I mean?
You don't have no standards.
You don't have any standards, and so, which is why you ended up with this man who doesn't have any standards.
I know,
You
because you
what I
attracted
mean?
to the vibration.
And on that note,
True.
you're right though.
True.
Yes, let the folks know again where they can find your book, Chris.
Sure, no, hold it up. So you can order it off of Amazon. Amazon.
What's the title of it? Prayers.
It's called Prayers of an Angry Husband.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you
if
said-
have a
Check it out.
Kindle,
I was
or
just
your
wait, I
phone,
was about to
order
do it
it
with
on Kindle. Or
Yeah.
just order the paperback.
Yeah.
Because you can read it right on
How
your
many
phone.
pages is it?
It's really 44. It's not
40. Y'all hear
Y'all
that?
better grab this book.
44 pages. Y'all can read this book.
And
Right
it's,
up my
It's
alley.
only $10.
and it's
Yo.
well put together. That's the
It
other part.
is.
That just if you really look at
Quality
it,
is
the quality is
amazing.
very well put
Yeah, yeah,
together.
Yeah, and he
It's-
looked like he trapped in the South.
Yeah.
Prison.
Wow, it's going deep with it. And you know what? And a lot of times when you think about reading with books, it looks to be an easy read, which means it allows you to go into it very easily and find your way through it. So y'all know you were saying you wanted to read a prayer out of it.
Yeah. Sure. So I
I'm gonna
want
put
to
you on the
read
spot. I
some
want
of
to
it.
hear it.
I want y'all to tell me what y'all think.
Okay.
Sure will.
Yeah, let me just go ahead.
Go ahead and share,
Read
y'all.
this
If y'all on this feed and the live
Yeah,
feed,
yeah.
share.
Yes, indeed.
Share if you care.
How I have it set up is what I prayed, what I should have prayed, and then I put a little devotional at the end of it.
Okay.
Yes.
So there we go.
Right.
What I prayed. God, why is she getting on my nerves today? I don't feel like hearing her complain about the house not being clean. She has been home longer than I have, and she had a long time to clean up. All I want to do is chill right now and don't want to be bothered. That's what I prayed. Then I put what I should have prayed. God, I may be tired, but let me hear what my wife is saying to me. Let me be a help to her if there was too much burden on her today. Let me turn down my own flesh and needs to cater to hers. You gave her to me as a helpmeet, and I'm going to help. And I put in Jesus' name, and then I put as a devotional, men, remember that your first responsibility as a loving husband is, and your duty is for your wife. That is how Christ has done for the church. Responsibility is to love your wife as Christ loved the church and has done and will do anything for the church. There are times when she just needs you to do stuff. And as a loving husband, it is your duty to do for her anything she would need. And then I put, this is how Christ has done for us in the church.
Definitely powerful.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that.
It was just kind of, that one was kind of like, it just was
That
a day
was
that
that
it
was a
happened.
good
That's a real one.
That's a
Yeah,
real one.
that's a very
Yeah,
good
that
one.
was nice.
Yeah, and I just like kind of going through it, I just had to remember like kind of like, you know, I had to learn that like when my wife asked me to do something, it was for a purpose. So if
Right.
I'm watching TV, I'm watching the game, or I'm playing the game. Not that I don't have time to play.
Right,
I
yeah.
don't even own a PlayStation anymore. But like if she said, I need you to take this or do something, it was a specific reason. And now most times men are like, yo, I'm chilling right now. Like, can I do that later? And then I would get irritated because she would just do it.
Right.
And I'm like, well, then why would you ask me? Because I need you to do it at that point. And I'm realizing what I learned just through marriage and just being in church is that, you know, the condition of the house, the woman is going to be judged on that. So even though the man is the head of the household, when somebody walks in the house, if that house isn't in order, people are going to judge the woman on that.
Yeah.
So I had to start saying, okay, if she asked me to do something, and she did, it wasn't a nagging. She never asked me to do anything like so much that it was just one of those.
It's
days.
never, it's
Yeah,
never
it's
too
just
much.
never-
It's
it's
just
never
the
too
thought.
Right, just
Yeah.
like
I gotta
like,
get
yo,
off this couch.
Right.
LeBron playing right now. You really need me to watch it?
Right.
But it was just like, you know, and she's never inconsiderate, so I
Yeah.
appreciate it for that. But that's just kind of one of those prayers that was in that moment. It's like, you know,
And
let
I'm
me
gonna
check
give you,
myself.
I'm gonna give you some real on that. So real life situation, for me, and that prayer, and you know how it that prayer right there, for me has realness because I always felt as though I put my wife first.
Mhm.
It wasn't until recently I really realized that, you know, I do things the way that I want to do them, how I want to do them.
Right.
So it was hard for me to make that change of, you know, like you said, all right, you know, you need something done, you know what I mean, or whatever. That now the change in me is I offer.
Right.
I offer. It's like, let me just offer, you know what I mean? Because truly the marriage, and this is where we get it all twisted up, is my first priority is my wife,
Right.
not my children,
Right.
not my mother,
It's your wife.
not my father. It's my wife.
Yeah.
If I'm married,
Mhm.
men get that twisted.
Period.
Period.
Actually, both parties get
Well,
it.
no,
But you're talking
I'm
for
saying,
us.
I'm
Yes,
saying
yes,
for
yes.
men. I'm
For
talking.
men. Yeah, my
See,
bad.
I don't want to
Yeah, yeah,
quickly
yeah.
throw it.
Right.
We gonna keep it on
No,
that
man,
side.
yeah, yeah.
No, real quick, real quick.
But you're right though, brother. My bad.
No. So real quick, what I also had to learn is that you'll learn your wife, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes you won't even have to offer.
Mhm.
It's best if you just do it. If
Yeah,
you see it.
yeah.
Because sometimes
Yes,
I walk
yes.
past the kitchen, I see the dishes, and I'm like, man, I'm just too tired. Like I'll get them later. And it's like, no, she don't want to see dishes when she walks past
Right.
the kitchen. So let me just go ahead and knock them out.
And see, that's
then I can
progression,
relax.
not perfection.
Yeah.
You see, I ain't there yet.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the realness.
It takes a long
It's
time
like,
to
yo,
get to
right,
this.
yeah, I'm not even
Yeah.
there yet
Yeah.
to where it's
That's
like
real.
I'm doing, you know, certain
Yeah.
things I can be like, yeah. But
Yeah.
I realize also with knowing my wife is that she likes to do things on her own.
Right.
She'll let me know what she needs me to do.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So it's that, yeah, it's like, she like, go do that. I'm like, all right, I'm on my way.
Get
I'm
out the
looking
way.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
She, you know, so you know, you're right. You do learn, but it is some certain things I probably could take the initiative and just go and do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's yeah, definitely having that initiative. But that's what that brought out for me,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it comes in time. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, I'm just gonna say I love the fact that the prayer was so transparent.
It
You know,
was.
and how you kind of broke it down from the wrong way to the right way, because a lot of the times, you know, when we are speaking to God, speaking to our higher power, we think that our way is the right way. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we like, God help this boy because he drives me crazy.
Right,
Not
right,
realizing
right.
like God, like wait a
You're
minute.
like, man, sit down.
You need to sit down, Mike. You need to sit down. And let's look at what's wrong with you.
Selfish.
Yeah.
Exactly, and we become really selfish in that moment. But like
Yeah.
you said, sometimes it takes us being outside of ourselves to say, okay, listen,
Mhm.
this is somebody that I love, and I'm supposed
Yeah.
to take care of in some type of way. You know what I mean? So
They
let me
say-
do that.
They say true love is sacrificial.
Yes,
You
it
know,
is.
the only way you
To
can
a
really.
degree.
Well, no, here's the thing. The reason being is because
That's
it's like what we're
selfish.
saying.
Like,
To the fact that you realize it's not about you.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, like we talking about marriage and relationships, it's
Staying it long enough,
Yeah.
endure enough.
of just realizing it's not about what you think and how you feel, and what's like they say as far as us as Christians, dying to self type of
Yeah,
thing. It's real. It is life changing. It will mature you in ways that you never realized.
You know, so I find it to be an interesting journey. So, you know, when you said about an angry husband, look, if any husband that's really trying to be a husband,
yeah.
is gonna say you never been angry, he lying.
He lying.
Because you
Straight
get
up lying.
frustrated, huh?
Yeah, straight up lying.
Straight up lying, because you get
Yeah.
frustrated. Because I mean, you know, I think innately we want things to be the way we want them to be. You know, as providers and protectors.
Right.
You know, so it's realizing that it's not about what you want it to be. It's about what God wants it to be, and figuring out how that's to come into play. Yeah. So man, he gave you definitely a powerful book, bro. He
Definitely.
definitely did, man. We
Hey,
appreciate
hey.
it, man.
I'm gonna say this, real quick. Once again, Amazon is where you can find this
Yeah,
book.
and Kindle.
Prayers of an Angry Husband. You can get it on the Kindle. This is the camera view of it. This
Yeah.
Vibrations got it.
Yes,
And
indeed.
I'm gonna say,
I even
you
like
know,
the back of it.
Yeah.
It's like
I'ma
it lets you know right on the back.
I'm gonna say to you real quick, brother, on your journey
Yeah.
to Atlanta,
Yeah.
is that you will be missed.
Oh yeah.
You will be missed, but you only a phone call
I was just
away.
about to say, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Life.
Like, you
Yeah.
know, but I'm gonna tell you, like,
Yeah.
I truly appreciated you, man. Like, you know, just the invites to come and do something.
Yeah.
You know, it was certain times where you invited me to a baseball game where I had the worst argument ever with my spouse. You know what I'm saying? The different things. You know, where I needed that time to be around somebody, you know, with some positivity. You know, to you know, let me know, hey man, you know, you all right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So I truly appreciate you, Brian. I just want to say thank you.
Oh, no problem.
You know,
Yeah.
my man, 100 grand.
Yeah.
Y'all, Chris Massey, go buy the book.
I appreciate you too.
Yes, indeed, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to the great things.
Miss
that's gonna happen in your life.
Vibrations.
Yes.
What you got for us?
Oh, so it's good because it goes along with everything that we kind of talked about. So I like to call it.
Look, I'm being nosy,
Yeah,
right?
I understand. Take a scratch, like, stop recycling.
Okay.
And so when I say stop recycling, that's bad behaviors, old patterns, picking up and leaving exes, and you know, just
Wow.
getting rid of all of those things. And that just because you make yourself forget does not mean that you can't make yourself forget and then call it healing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True indeed.
So,
You're not actually doing the work.
You just tucking, as I call it.
exactly. So I'm actually in the process of trying to get a meeting going for men and for women because stop recycling of the
I love that.
bad behavior. So a lot of times, like I want people to be in tune with the laws of attraction and knowing that you are the creator of your universe and everything that you want, and you can manifest what you want in your life. So I have some steps that I want to give for people if they're open and they
Yeah,
want to
take some
try,
notes.
even if you guys
So with
are
this
open to it.
with this process, you're gonna give them certain steps. So it's gonna be your segment is gonna be multiple segments.
Yes.
Right, so this is the first segment. So
Yes.
y'all make sure y'all tune in, listen up, hear clearly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do that so people understand what you're about to do.
Step
Right.
number one.
All right.
So with practicing the laws of attraction and things like that, step one is recognizing what you do want. So because if you're able to recognize what you do want, then you know exactly what you don't want.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to also, second step is to change your thinking. So I would say write down at least 5 sentences that you say that are negative, and then in turn write 5 positive sentences to reflect the negative sentences. Because you have to start changing how you think to get it out, to put all the positive energy in, and it takes some work. So that's you know, write them down. Also, the other one of the other little assignments for those who want to try it.
She got notes.
So these goals, having some goals.
Yeah.
So first step for the goal setting is going to be where you measure them on a scale from 1 to 10 in areas that you need to improve, but the goal is to get everything to a 10. So the first one is health. The second is career and success. The third is money. The fourth is relationships. 5 is romance. 6 is community. 7 is family. 8 is time. 9 is relationships with yourself. 10 is home. 11 is learning. 12 is fun and adventure. 13 is spirituality. And 14 is body imaging.
So, and is that a hierarchy right there, or is it just the list?
It's a list. It's
Okay.
just a list. Like when you start to do the laws of attraction and get to know it, they have things where they tell you what to do and different things that you can get into it. So I've done it because, like I said, it's Candace Crazy with LAT, the build up after the breakdown. So these are the things because I'm at my build up. You know, there's still more to come, but I was broken
Gotcha.
down real bad. So I just want people to see that it works if you work it.
Yeah.
You have to have an open mind. You really do have to be an open mind, because usually people with a closed mind have a lot to say, you know. And absolutely.
I'm putting that up on Facebook tomorrow. Repost. Can I put an RP right here?
Right.
Yeah. So I also listen to other motivational speakers as well, and Les Brown is my
That's
favorite.
my man.
Yes,
High five on that.
yes,
His
yes.
story's amazing.
So one of the things that he always says is, in order to do something you've never done, you have to become someone you've never been.
Yes, indeed.
And that's so deep and touching, because for me on my path, I had to become humble. You know, I was one where I had to strike when the iron was hot. You
Yeah.
said this, I had to always say
Right back at
something,
you.
or you know, I didn't allow God to take control of the situations completely. So the one thing too is that you are responsible for how you feel. Nobody can make you mad. So when you're saying angry,
Yeah.
you making
It's
yourself
you.
angry.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
nobody else can control you because you're giving them power.
Yep.
So the key too is to love yourself more and become more with you and know your worth. And that way, when you do decide to walk away or you do leave me, I'm not left broken,
Right.
because I didn't give you all of me, because I have to love me first
Yeah.
and put me first, and know that God, you have to trust that God has you regardless, even when it looks horrible.
Yeah.
You know, your faith, sometimes we battle and go back and forth with different things and your vibrations, because your faith is shaky. But faith is having faith for something that you don't even see. Like I tell everybody, I'm gonna be on TV one day. You know, that's how I feel. I speak the things that I want in my life.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, well, how can you say that? Because I see it
You see
already.
it already.
I already see it.
Yeah.
So don't worry, I'm just getting prepared. I'm getting ready, and I'll be there. And I don't know how long it'll be, but I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
So I just want, like I said from the very beginning, the first time I came, I just want people to start getting out of their own way. You know, don't think just tolerating. You know, I know unconditional love, like you say, but I say to a degree, because it's like, at what expense am I supposed to
losing yourself.
allow you to continue to hurt me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't keep allowing you to hurt me, and then say, oh, but I love him unconditionally, or love her unconditionally because she doing this. And it's like, that's
And
not
that's
love.
not love. Exactly.
No.
And it's not love. You're
Yeah,
100%
and that's
right.
not what God invented love to be,
Yeah.
or whoever you believe in.
Yeah.
You know, God is love.
Yeah.
He's caring. He doesn't create chaos
No.
and drama.
He's not
and
the author of confusion.
He's not.
No.
So it's like a lot of times, like you say, people have different love languages, and there's things that they saw generationally that just make you attract, and you get these things, and you think it's normal. Like you said, yelling. I'm a yeller. My daughter hates it, but I'm a yeller. But you know, my mother yells. You know, but
You know your mother.
yeah, but that's how we communicate. So a lot of times we also can't judge or force people to conform to what we think. So I always tell people, you know, your perception and your opinion about me is really none of my business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
It's theirs.
you have to just get into it. So I want people to get into this law of attraction journey. If you're open and you're willing, and we can work together. I have my work phone, which is, the number is 443-882-1800. So as though if you really want to try and get more detail with the laws of attraction, actually speaking with someone that's in the process, that's going through it, and where I can show you different areas that have improved, I want you to do so, because I want everybody to win. And you know, you can take your power back. And even if it's things that, the more you pray and become in tune with yourself, a lot of your old ways and the things, you know, that you like, it's gonna get away from you.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to. You'd be
will.
surprised. Like I had prayed and I was like, God, remove anybody around me that's not for me. Move exes and stuff like that, because you know we cling them on. You know, when stuff go wrong, let's call y'all. You know, but then I remember it's a time as though when you deal with certain, well, for me anyway, when I've dealt with like certain exes in certain situations, it's like, okay, if it's a point where I'm feeling low again or sad, I go back and reach out to the last thing that I would know. But it's like you went to where you was familiar with when you were at your low point. So recognize that you only was dealing with this person when you were at a low point, and you have to go back and regain yourself and get it back, because you are in control of everything. Everything that happens to you, everything you don't like, everything you do like. It's up
Let
to you.
yourself be free.
That was deep.
That was
I
heavy.
like that. First thing, hey, with that, so the meditation part.
Yeah.
So is that something that we're gonna go through in our process with the laws of
Yeah,
attraction?
yeah, you
So
can.
that- okay.
But you know, to me, everything works better when you meditate.
Mhm.
Some people don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't believe in it for whatever reasons, but you have to pray along with meditate. I'm still working on like the praying all the time because I pray constantly, but just like
Is
daily,
it like
daily,
jackpot
daily.
prayers? Like if you in
No,
a jam or
no,
something, you
no.
like, God help me out of this jam.
No,
I'm in traffic. I need to get to the studio. Help me.
Now, I used to be that person. And there's a lot of people, you know, some people don't admit it, but some people only go to God when they want something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so I go to God when I don't want anything. You know, I found myself, I was like, he probably think I'm crazy. But like a week or so ago, when I prayed, I was telling God that I love him and I appreciate him and not to give up on the world and don't feel like when you get tired, I say, God, I'm here. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, you know, even though he may or he may not, but that's just the prayer that I wanted to give to him. Like, you know, when you upset, all that, and that was the first time that I went and got on my knees where I was praying for him, telling him that everything's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? So exactly. So I when he tells me to move, I move. I no longer, you know, whether it's work, if you get fired, terminated, break up relationship, just go with it because I'm telling you, I went with it.
Right.
And
One
my
thing
life
I'm gonna
is going great.
I'm gonna say when I first met you, this ain't the same person that I met years ago. Like when I met you at Mama Cray house, you barely even spoke to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had a little attitude. I'm about to let you know about your attitude too.
That's
You
not
know?
true.
No,
because
you did.
Let me tell you this.
I had to
also
speak to
been
your
told
mother
that I
about
had
that.
a negative demeanor at one point.
Yo, you was just
But it was
hard.
the fact that I keep it real and I don't know how to sugarcoat nothing.
Ooh.
And you know, I'm always the one
I
that
know
says right. But
How you gonna have an attitude with me back then?
I worked on that though.
Okay, no doubt. That's what I said. You're a different person. but
Absolutely, yeah.
definitely.
But you know what? This is an example, and I'm glad you did that because there's gonna always be those people
Right, we
that
set this
remind
down
you
Who you
of
are.
who you were. Okay, you know who you were.
I would be the
You would be
negative
that
vibe in the
No,
room.
you're not negative. You're not
Me.
negative. You're just the example.
Yes, exactly.
But no, and it's true.
You
though.
need those people.
But sometimes, I don't need validation only because that's what I work on itself because
Ooh.
I'm okay. So even if
Excuse me.
no, don't get me wrong, it's good to hear. It's like, ooh, you know, it's very
Actually,
good
let
to
you know
hear.
that you've grown.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. Is that definitely the person? I took it into a playful thing, but on a serious tip, you have definitely grown. You're the definite. You're the definition of progression, not perfection.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can see your perfection. I mean your progression. You know, and we all strive for perfection, which we will never reach. But I will thank you for that, Miss Vibration. That was hot.
And I do need to post more on my channel, but
we talked about it. Yes. Yes. So, woo, this seat went back far, boy. I was trying to get my dance on in the seat. Y'all ain't see that? All right, so,
real quick.
yes, I know, right? I did a key. Don't forget. I'm like, there I go again. I did it again. I'm going to take you back this time. And then you messed up.
It wasn't me.
Exactly. Oh, Lord. But, DH, what you got for the people, shorty?
Man, since we're talking about mental health,
There she go.
I'm excited to be a part of a mental health panel this month.
Right, there we go.
It's called Crazy Like a Fox.
Right.
It's going to be at Impact Hub on Saturday, May the 17th. No, May the 19th. May the
That's
19th.
what's up.
3 p.m. to 7 p.m.
And you want to let them know about the show on the 16th?
Yes, on the 16th we have some panelists coming through, as well as one of the performers. Her name is Melanin Rains. I'm not sure which panelists are coming yet.
That's cool, but we gonna
But
have
yes,
them.
we're gonna have them
Right.
here. We're
That's
gonna talk about PTSD, depression, anxiety,
Oh, yeah.
autism.
Yes.
So yes, it's real. If you have access to Eventbrite, please go look up Crazy Like a Fox and get your tickets.
That's what's up.
Yes.
Like that. I'm gonna skip over you, Chris, for a second. Key, what you got, bro?
Nothing. We out of here. Thank you for coming through. Make sure you come back on Sunday.
Hey.
Love y'all.
Yeah, that's what's up. Candace, what you got, shorty?
you know, my favorite be the energy you want to attract.
I love that. That's
indeed.
what's up.
Yes,
Hot
indeed.
stuff right there. Mr. Massey,
Yes, sir.
you've seen this before, because I know you watched the show. What last words do you have for the people?
So last words, again, As DA said, this is Mental Health Awareness Month, so I'm gonna give you two numbers. One being the suicide hotline number. I have it in my mind. I just want to make sure I get it right. So it's 1-800-273-8255. So if you are in a crisis and you need help, please call them if you don't have nobody to talk to. There's also a text crisis line. So you just text to 741-741. Again, that number is 741-741. Just text that number. There's people ready to talk to you. You know, we trying to do all we can for this mental health thing. I mean, it's an everyday thing. So
Yes, it's an everyday.
thank y'all again for
You
bringing me.
bet.
I love
Yeah,
the
man.
show.
We appreciate y'all. So I'm gonna say this before O takes us out. I posted it earlier. People that don't matter don't matter. Like, let them be in their misery by their damn self.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We have too much killing and stuff going on because folks want to join into other people's misery. You don't like me, cool. You don't like me, that's on you. That is not my problem. Just like
Not
you
at
said
all.
earlier, what's going on in your head is
It's in
none
your
of my
head.
business.
Not at all.
I'm gonna let you be. So, you know, I think we need to do some more of that because folks are dying for no reason out
Yeah,
here
real
over
talk.
little dumb beefs. But I just wanted to say that was on my heart.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tune in. We will see you Sunday, 7 o'clock.
be in the building with their babies. But I'll tell y'all more about that off air.
With the
We
babies.
see y'all.
Yes, peace, peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
With that real quick, I know what I'm saying.
Making them.
Woo! Nice, good show.
We made it.
Good job, man. Nice. Oh, praise